Hello guys, my name is Dan and welcome to my channel. In this video I will analyze Aeromexico's present and future fleet and routes, as well as some that I would love to see in the airline's future. I will also be talking about its subsidiary Aeromexico Connect. Aeromexico is Mexico's largest airline, with its main hub at Mexico City International Airport, but it also has secondary hubs at Guadalajara and Monterrey. Aeromexico's fleet consists of 9 Boeing 737-700s, 38 Boeing 737-800s, 6 Boeing 737 MAX 8, which are currently grounded, 9 of the Boeing 787-8s, 10 of the Boeing 787-9s. Aeromexico currently has orders for another 4 Boeing 787-9s, as well as another 54 Boeing 737 MAXs, although it is not specified which are going to be MAX 8 and which are going to be MAX 9, some of which have been built but have not been delivered yet, due to the Boeing 737 MAX crisis. Aeromexico's former fleet includes aircraft such as the Lockheed Constellation, Douglas DC-3, Douglas DC-8, DC-9, DC-10, MD-80, Boeing 757, 767, 777, and others. Meanwhile, Aeromexico Connect's fleet includes the following aircraft: 10 of the Embraer E-170s as well as 47 Embraer E-190s, while its former fleet includes aircraft such as the Saab 340 and the Embraer E-145. Aeromexico's route network mostly focuses around Mexico City, being the largest airline at the airport, operating flights to most cities in Mexico, with Aeromexico Connect serving the smaller ones. There are also 13 destinations in the United States from Mexico City, as well as 4 destinations in Canada, including the seasonal flights to Calgary. There are 2 destinations in the Caribbean, 5 in Central America, 7 in South America, 5 in Europe, and 2 in Asia. There are several routes though that have been discontinued due to the Boeing 737 MAX crisis, including Mexico City to the following cities: Guayaquil, Cali, Belize City, Liberia, and Punta Cana. The route from Mexico City to Shanghai via Tijuana was also terminated because of the lack of demand, due to the disadvantage that the airline had by only having 2 weekly flights between the two cities. From Guadalajara, most destinations are to the US, with 7 destinations, plus Tijuana, Monterrey, and Mexico City. From Monterrey, the only Aeromexico destination is Mexico City, but with Aeromexico Connect there are 10 domestic destinations and 6 destinations in the US, including seasonal flights to Denver and Orlando. Meanwhile, there are other flights that depart out of non-hub airports such as Tijuana, León, or Querétaro. Aeromexico is one of the founding members of the SkyTeam Alliance, and Aeromexico co-shares with the airlines such as Aeroflot, Air France, Delta, Korean Air, and Tarom, as well as others, as part of the alliance. Aeromexico also co-shares with Avianca, Copa Airlines, El Al, GOL, Japan Airlines, Virgin Atlantic, and WestJet, which are not part of the SkyTeam Alliance. But Aeromexico's main partner is Delta Airlines, who owns 49% stake on the airline, and who also has a joint venture with Aeromexico, which, as far as I know, it applies to all routes between the United States and Mexico operated by Aeromexico and Delta. And now, what's for Aeromexico's future? Aeromexico has been struggling to grow lately, with the Boeing 737 MAX crisis, meaning Aeromexico doesn't even have enough planes to grow. Add that, the lack of capacity at Mexico City International Airport. The rest of the airlines are struggling to find slots in there. So far, Aeromexico hasn't been greatly affected by the coronavirus outbreak, although it has canceled some flights to Europe, South America, and Asia as of March 23, 2020. But assuming everything will go back to normal after the coronavirus outbreak, Aeromexico will still have to deal with the Boeing 737 MAX and the saturation at Mexico City. A new airport for Mexico City was actually being built, but that project was canceled last year. Although construction for the new airport at Santa Lucia Air Force Base is supposed to be ongoing by now, with completion in 2022, supposedly. And Aeromexico seems to be interested in operating at that airport so that the airline can finally grow again. It's possible that once the Boeing 737 MAX returns to service, the routes to Punta Cana, Belize City, Guayaquil, Cali, and Liberia will resume, and other routes that were previously planned are launched. as well as increased capacity and frequency in existing routes, especially after the new airport is completed, if that's even completed. Aeromexico is also planning to replace their Embraer fleet, their E190s and E170s. Aeromexico is looking between the Embraer E2 jets and the Airbus A220. In my opinion, they should order the E2 jets, more specifically the E190E2 and the E195E2. Their capacity may be lower than the A220, but it's far cheaper and more similar to their current aircraft. The E190E2 has the capacity of 96 passengers and the E195E2 can carry 120 passengers, both in the two-class configuration. The E195E2 would be an increase in capacity to the E190 that can carry 96 passengers similar to the 190E2. And while the E195E2 has less capacity than the Boeing 737-700s, it gets close to it. So maybe you can even replace the older 737-700s. I would love for the airline to order the Boeing NMA. That's if Boeing even makes it, which I don't know if that would even happen, but assuming they would. Aeromexico could possibly use the aircraft for busy short and middle haul routes, or for long and thinner routes, such as the one in this map, some being existing and some proposed by me. Although some can easily be operated by a Boeing 737 MAX 9 or a Boeing 787-8. Although these are just some ideas, not all possible. Now, some of the routes that I would love for Aeromexico to operate include some of the following: Mexico City to Rio de Janeiro, to Brasilia, to Boston, San Juan, Puerto Rico, San Jose, California, Sacramento, Shanghai via Tijuana, as well as Guadalajara to Las Vegas, Bogota, Madrid, and Paris, and possibly even Monterrey to Madrid. And even though it will create a conflict with Volaris, I would love for Aeromexico to operate more flights from Tijuana into Asia, while also having a couple domestic flights to some large cities. This way, many passengers wouldn't have to go all the way back to Mexico City to transfer onto a flight to Shanghai or Japan or anywhere in Asia. There's certainly a lot that could happen in Aeromexico's future. Also keep in mind that these are just some of the things that I came up with. There might have been some points that I might have missed, and some of my points might not make that much sense. But if you have any comments, suggestions, criticism, or any advice, please let me know in the comments. Also let me know if you like this video and would like to see more videos like this in the future. And also if there's any airline that you would like me to see me analyze in the future. This video was certainly fun to make, so I hope I can make more of these in the future. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you later.